Hello, hello. It's AOT, Artistoftruth. Having a wonderful morning, listening to some classical music. You know, it's funny to me that just yesterday I posted a video stating, I'll turn down this classical a little bit, stating that, you know, when you're doing something positive and you're trying to improve your life, you have all these creepers in the shadows hating you for some reason. Maybe they struggled. Maybe they're sitting there watching your video with a bag of Doritos, an endless supply of nacho cheese dip, and some chicken nuggets from 3 days ago that they just removed from the refrigerator and they're going to microwave because they're hungry. And they're just looking at you going, this guy's crazy. You can't do that. You get sick. You get skinny. I hear it all. It's amazing to me. You know, but interestingly enough, I've eaten all those foods. And all these supposed nurses and doctors and all of these things, if they had real knowledge and real concern for themselves, they would look at the real research. It's like, you know, smokers trying to profess that a cigarette isn't really that bad for you, that lots of people smoked until they were 180 and all of these things. It just amazes me how ignorant all of us can be when we're addicted like crack addicts to the hormones and the sugars and foods and all of those things, but we're unwilling to admit it. I know I struggled with it in the beginning. I didn't struggle with the food. I left it just like that the moment I made up my mind, but I struggled with the concept once I started getting all of this information. Oh, all these vegans, they're crazy. They've been eating lettuce too long, and now they've lost it somehow. You know, and it's a wonder. It's no wonder why, really, when even the Disney Channel has, you know, so many commercials about stuff. But at least the Disney Channel is trying to promote good food and all of these things. But watching those, maybe Nickelodeon and different things, not to call out, you know, to get the lawyers on my tail, but sitting there with my child and you see all these ghetto fabulous commercials, you know, Reese's Puffs makes my morning time epic. Oh, it's hilarious, but, you know, and we succumb to it. I went to Wendy's all the time, and I was this guy that always, you know, I've had my certification in nutritional science and all this stuff for years, but that didn't mean anything. It's like when somebody says, well, I'm a doctor. Well, look at you. You're smoking outside before you come in. You're 40, 50 pounds overweight. You know, you're probably prescribing yourself a few things. And it's terrible. And even my mindset, studying health and being into nutrition, being a martial artist, I was still dropping by Wendy's. Oh, well, it's a chicken breast. I'll just have that. And I won't have the fries because the fries are bad for you. And I can recall my own mind rationalizing all of this stuff. But there was no real basis in fact. And we're just hammered by constant commercialism, seeing these things on television, and every time we ride by, and every commercial paid for by the Dairy Corporation, milk does a body good. It's one of the longest running lies to the general public, I think, in commercial history. Other than, you know, the old cigarette commercials and the guys like on the beach smoking a cigarette, runs out, jumps on his surfboard, all the kids are hanging around looking at the cool guy. That type of thing. It's conditioning that's done over very long periods of time. But we have to free ourselves. But the moment, originally, when people started speaking out against tobacco corporations or anything, it was an outpouring of ignorance. And it took 20 years for people to come around to say, oh wow, this stuff might be bad for you. Not that the people that smoke are bad. Of course not. They're just addicted to a cigarette, and it came about through a process of conditioning of the mind to one day decide this fruitless, frivolous thing that has no value, I'm going to spend my money on it and burn it and then inhale the toxic chemicals from it. It just, when you think about it, it makes no sense at all. But people have done it. I've never done it. You know, I've eaten poison, but I've never smoked a cigarette. But I'm saying that, you know, people in my family have, all my friends, even when I was in school, all my friends smoked. My point is that those people, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that they don't understand. You know, it's not, and when I say ignorance, I simply mean that it's like knowing something incorrectly, thinking that we know something. Old science. And then coming to some epiphany that all we have to do is change these things, and we will realize our minds will become clearer. We will see those people who have, you know, ulterior motives jump out, proclaiming the right of whatever they believe, when someone like myself is simply putting the information out there that has been guarded, stepped on, hidden. And, you know, when I say artist of truth, it's the truth at all costs. Sure, people can eat meat and drink milk and probably live very long periods of time, but it doesn't mean that you are not putting toxic chemicals into your body. People that I've been friends with for years secretly do illegal drugs. They poison themselves every single day. They're still alive. But can you say, okay, well that's I know somebody that smokes crack and they didn't lose all their teeth. You know, it's just frivolous arguments. My point is not to argue, it's just to say, here's some information. You know, watch this video that shows that when you eat a cheeseburger, that your blood actually looks like a fatty glue milk substance. Scientific proven fact. Watch the videos posted on my Facebook page. It's not my video. The people before me have been doing the research. I'm just another person on the path. I know I'm ranting a little in this video, but I continue to be astonished by how ignorant people who claim to be in the medical field can be. And how when you do something positive, it doesn't have to be anything about diet, it can be anything. You know, I'm not a big fan of organized religion, or at least in control of it, but religion has served to change billions of people's lives for the better. Not only the fanatics that are all like, Jesus said and you better, or or somebody blowing up a synagogue, but I mean like real people that derive the benefit from it. I'm not a fan of certain things, but it is those things have changed people's lives. So people are different. We don't all have to agree about everything. That's my point. But we at least have to expose ourselves, get the information out there, all of the information, and to be able to look at something without thinking like or dislike, but to really study, to maybe do an experiment on your own body, like fasting. You know, when I catch criticism by the internet ninjas, most of them don't have the discipline to check their own mail. And again, I know I'm ranting, but I'm astonished by how ignorant people can be. If you're out there, and even if my point about the religion is, if you're trying to help someone, maybe you're not a fanatic and you go out or maybe you change your life, and I'm sure people have experienced this. You used to run the streets, do crazy things, sneak around in the shadows and such, and maybe one day you find Jesus or Allah, or you find Buddha or something, and you're trying to change for the better. Of course, what happens right away? Naysayers, people, oh, you can't do it, oh, it's crazy, oh, another one of those, But maybe it's not about what it is, it's about what's coming from it, and how you're changing your life, and how you're affecting positively the people around you, and how you're not being affected and infected by the people around you. Maybe that's the important thing. Well, my rant is over. Day 28. Still smiling, still happy, free. As always, love everyone. Bam! Just like that. Talk with you soon.